Okay, folks, for this screencast, we're going to go over a function called import data. And so I think in the I'll post a link to these videos, but we've gone over some commands like DLM read and XLS read, and I told you to just do this on your own, but do CSV read. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you what happens if you have a really weird file. And so let's say I have this file here. This is a file that I use for some of my simulations. I've got 2020, this is a grid size configuration, this is a matrix here that's a 20 by 20 grid with ones and zeros in it, and this is just some extra data. Again, this is for some C++ simulation, but I'm going to attempt to do this with DLM read. I've never done this before. I probably should have, but maybe we'll see what the benefits are. So I'm going to try to just read it in. I'm going to go ahead and X this out, try to read this in using DLM read, and let's see what happens. So I'm going to hit play here, and there you go. So DLM read is going to crap its pants. It's going to say trouble reading this row here. And so basically what's happening is that this line here, it doesn't like this line here, and so it's kind of throwing an error here. So we're going to throw out that and say, okay, well, we can't do that, so let's try to read it in using Excel. Maybe it can figure it out. And honestly, it might be able to. Like I said, I've never tried this before. File is not, oh, okay, so it's not in a recognized format. So what if I just do this and do the numeric? Yeah, so it's not in the right format. So I guess XLS read, it has to be Excel format. Must be Excel format. So we can't do that either. So let's try a CSV read here. So if I type in help CSV read, and again, I haven't gone over this, but looks like R and C are okay. Those are just ranges. So I'm just going to try and do data equals CSV read configuration.con here and hit go, and okay, again, so it didn't like it, right? And so you're wondering, like, crap, how the heck am I supposed to get this data file in here? Okay, so your wild card, your saving grace is this function called import data. So I'm going to just do all equals import data configuration.con. I'm going to run the help just to see if maybe I learned something here. A is this thing, there's some delimiter. H line is a number that indicates where the header is located. If you type in edit import data, it's actually a MATLAB routine, and so you can kind of go through and see what it's doing, but it's basically trying to do like a bunch of crazy stuff. There's actually a oh my gosh, I'm about to destroy this function. What's going on here? Text scan, is that it? Yeah, when the file is imported, it is an ASCII, and import data has trouble importing, but try text scan. And so essentially this sort of is trying to use text scan here it is where it tries to call that function. Now, I've never learned how to use text scan before. I'm sure it's pretty cool, but I've been fine with just using import data. But I'm going to hit go here, and eureka, we got it. Import data function was able to bring it in. And so you're looking at this output here and you're like, okay, I see some stuff that's going on, but I'm not entirely sure. So it looks like text data is this first row. This is what the computer thinks is called the header. And then data is a 21 by 20, which doesn't really make sense. But again, if I type in all, I'm not really sure what this is. If I type in whos, all is actually a structure. And so I've never gone over structures, but basically there are two streams here. So if I want data, I can do all dot data. And so what that does is it says, give me the data attribute of all, and save it in a new variable called data. So if I hit here, here's all my data here. And so this is clearly the first couple rows here. So if I go back to my spreadsheet, here's the matrix of ones and zeros. Here's 1,000, 1,000 at the bottom, and then here is it's probably, where's 40, 40, 40 is probably somewhere. Okay, I can't actually see it. So it doesn't actually look like it grabbed it. It didn't even grab those 4040. So import data even has some of its shortcomings, but it was still able to bring in the matrix, which is all I wanted. So I can say that the I guess 20 matrix that I wanted is really just data of it's 1 to 20 and 1 to 20. And then so I can now do, say, image SC of the 20 matrix and hit F5 here. And so there we go. There's a 1 image SC. What it does is if there's a 1 in the matrix, it plots a certain color, and if not, it doesn't. And so I can go over here to the spreadsheet, and I can say, like, well, let's make this one, this one, this one. And then again, I don't have to change the code. So if I just hit run now the first cells are valid there. So again, all is this structure, and so if I type in text data is all dot text data like that, notice that text data is now a variable, and if I type in here's text data, and it is actually a cell. So if I want the text in string format, I would have to take the text data and actually extract the text data. So this extracts the data from the cell. And so if I hit go on that and type in whose, now text string is actually a character. And so now I can operate on that. So what I can do is I can say, well, make the title of my figure that text string. And even though in this case it doesn't mean anything, we've got grid size. It looks like we need to do /literal. No. Give me 1 second to figure out how to fix those underscores. Okay, yeah, that was it, folks. It was interpreter none. So normally what it does is it tries to interpret and be like, oh, you want an underscore? That means you want a subscript. And it's like, no, in this case I don't want a subscript. So you just do interpreter none here. So that basically tells you how to use the import data function. So you have data and you have text data here, and so data is the computer's attempts to grab the data in number format, and text data is the computer's attempt to grab the text data. Now, if you notice, like I said in here, that the function still had its limits and it wasn't able to grab this bottom rows. So in the next video, I'll go over how to do that using something called fopen. All right, good luck.